Welcome to the Tools Can Work Better Together presentation. My name is Paweł Głowacki and I'm Senior Software Consultant with Embarcadero Technologies. In today's episode, I'm going to demonstrate Delphi and Change Manager working together. Let's switch to Delphi. In this demonstration, I have a Delphi Contacts application. This is a very simple application that can be used to store telephone numbers of different persons. In the upper part of a user interface, I have a list box with the list of all the contacts. Whenever I select a contact in a top level list, the associated numbers from the contacts numbers table are displayed. I'm able to create new contacts, I'm able to edit existing contacts, or I can even remove contacts from my database. This application is based on top of the database that is a Microsoft SQL Server database called Contacts, which is created inside the Data Explorer. There is a contacts node that points to a living instance of a database, which is a SQL Server database running in the VMware image. If I click on a test connection is succeeding. My database is made of just two database tables. There is master table called contact that contains contact ID field, which is a primary key, and first name and last name, varchar fields. And there is also a detail table, which is called contact number, that contains contact number ID, primary key, the actual number that is associated with a contact, and also contact ID field, which acts as a foreign key into the contacts table. The contact table contains this data and the contact number contains this data. This data is manipulated from my Delphi application inside the SQL Server database. If I use my application to make any changes inside the database, I want to make sure that anytime I do any testing with my application, I want my database to be in a consistent state. So that is where I can use Change Manager. Let's switch to Change Manager. Change Manager is a great tool. With a Change Manager, you can perform a number of different operations. Change Manager can be used to track and manage changes to every aspect of your database. Every database can be thought of as made of three tiers. On a higher level, there is a configuration of a database. So this is where I can perform an archive configuration job to store information about the current configuration of my database. If I run the archive configuration job, I can get information regarding some global settings that are affecting the whole configuration of a given instance of a database. I can create a report in the form of the PDF file, and what is more important, I can track how my configuration is changing over time. So I can create configuration archive jobs, and I can also perform a configuration comparison jobs, which can be run against any two archives or against an archive and a living instance of a database. On a second level, every database is made of schema or metadata. Similarly, I can run the archive schema job, and in this way I can specify which tables, which databases I'm interested in. I can, for example, specify that I'm only interested in contacts and contacts based database. I can go through options, notifications, and finally I can run this job. In this way, I can make sure that I understand how the structure of my databases are changing over time. So I can see that both databases are exactly identical. And what I'm interested right now is on the third level of any database, the actual data. What I can do, I can perform a data comparison job. So this is what I'm going to do. I have created a contacts and contacts base data compare job. I have two databases, one source database and one target database. The source database is a contacts database which my Delphi application is manipulating, and the contacts base works as